What's going on, YouTube? Have I got a rewarding one planned for today? So today, we're gonna start off by taking this here truck down to the garage, and I gotta pull the blower motor out, get that replaced so I can have AC again. About time we get under the dash and see how to get this blower motor out of there. Ain't looked it up, but how hard could it be? Let's see. Looks like we have a cover here with some type of a, feels like a 10 mil. Mm-hmm. 7 mil there. And that might pop out. So let's go get a 10 mil and a 7 mil. See what happens. Alrighty then, ignore the mess. I've been meaning to clean up, but I ain't. The old snap on. Let's see. I said a 10 mil and a 7 mil. Hopefully that's all we need. If not, we'll walk back in. Maybe one of these days, I'll clear out all this mess so I can pull stuff inside and work on it again instead of being outside, whew, in this hot ass weather. 7 fits there. Ten does not fit over here. It's also a 7. One. Uh-oh, too long. So if you can't tell, too long to get up in there. So let's go get something shorter. I think turning wrenches is as much going back and forth to get tools and stuff as it is actually turning wrenches. So let's see. 6, 7 mil 3/8 short. Same drawer, snap on 3/8. Might work, or I might need to switch to a deep well. Actually, it might have been a good idea to just go ahead and grab the deep well. But I like to torture myself. So this bad boy right here, got that little tab. All I did was kind of bend that tab up, twist this thing, and it slid right out. Believe that? I ain't never had one fall out that easy. Got this little plug in, you gotta move the foam back out of the way, push the tab down, the plug comes out, and blower motor's out. So now, we gotta take this thing to AutoZone, match it up with the new one, because there's 3 different kinds for this fucking truck, and we'll be back shortly. Alrighty then, we're back from the zone. Well, I got both the new parts right here in the seat. So let's look over and see how much different they are. So right off the bat, you can see that this one has a cone and this one's round. So I'm hoping that this will work right. If not, I don't even know that I can get this off and switch these out. You got the same plug-in This one has foam around it, this one don't. I don't know why. It's got the same non-detachable vent hose things, what they call it at the parts store. There's 3 of these. One of them had 2 tabs instead of this quick release thing, had 2 tabs to bolt it in. The other 2 had this quick release flange that you slide it up into place and twist it and it goes right in. The difference between those 2 is one had a detachable vent hose and the other one had a non-detachable vent hose. We have the non-detachable twist lock style. So let's get this bad boy back in and move on along. Get it up in there, twist, it's locked into place. So now hopefully, put the key in, start it up, turn this on, and hallelujah. We have AC. Oh, and it's ice cold, buddy. All right. Now that we know this thing works, let me go ahead and put that trim panel back in, get this truck ready. Might go give it a quick spray off before we head out on the road. Got to get the trailer hooked up, and we're taking a 2-hour trip to go pick up a car. All right, guys, truck and trailer hooked up, ready to go. We stopped at the gas station to get us some drinks. Had to borrow Dad's trailer. My 5th wheel's got shit on the back of it. 5th wheel's got shit on the back of it, you know. Did you just lock this out? Okay. Thought the dog done locked this out. Let me go get here and get us a drink, and I'll catch y'all again when we get up to where we're going. Alrighty, guys, we're down here at this gentleman's property. Look at the car. He's got some pretty cool stuff out here. The old Ford dump truck, some trailers. Pretty cool old F350 flatbed edition, you know. Good unit. The old Trailblazer. We should try to steal a motor out that thing while we're out here, shouldn't we? And we're here to pick up this thing. Overall, this bad boy's in pretty decent condition. You know, we need the front end off of it to fix my grandmother's car. I'll show you all that when we get back to the house, you know. Look at that hot rod over there. Hell yeah, brother. That's what I like to see. Got the old hot rod flames on her. Well, he went to go get the tractor, and we got to move some stuff around, and we'll get this thing drug out of here. As you can see, we're pulling her out of there. We're gonna back her up, roll her forward down on the trailer, and head back to the house. We got about a 2-hour drive ahead of us, but pretty scenic. Try to get some shots on the way home and let you all see a little bit of what we get to see. Go down here and get the ramps put on this trailer.
Yeah, that's true. I got all that.
head it toward me a little bit. Right there. Hope y'all enjoyed the scenery yesterday. We didn't get back till about 10 o'clock last night, maybe 10:30. So by the time I got inside, threw all the footage in the computer, tried to edit it up and everything, it was bedtime, and we didn't get much farther than that. So it is what it is. Car made it back safely. It's leaking something there. I gotta figure out what that is. Not really. Don't really care. This bad boy's equipped with a trailer hitch, so might throw that in the other car. Today's my daughter's birthday, so we don't have a ton of time to get anything done, but I'd like to get car off a trailer down there at Dad's house and give you all a little look on the other car that needs fixed and what we're going to be doing with it. So let's get after it. All right, so we came down here to Dad's, parked across the street while I'm waiting on some help to be able to unload this thing and push it where we need to go, and we might need to move this thing, but here's where we're going to be working on. As you can clearly see, she had a little bit of a mishap on the front end of this car and ran into another car and kind of messed hers up. So, front end of this car messed up, front end of that car pretty good. So we're gonna take that front end, put it on this car, try to make two into one, get her Camry back. She's been driving this Honda Civic. She hates the thing. She says it's too cheap, it makes too much noise, it doesn't feel safe to drive, yada yada yada. You know how old people can get. They want what they want, and it is what it is, you know. Technically, I think we all get that way a little bit. I mean, I know when I want something, it's gotta kind of be spot on, or I really don't give a shit about it. Anyways, one car, two car, so it is what it is. Probably gonna take this car, slide it back, take that car, put it in front of it nose to nose, so we can basically strip one, swap everything from that one over to the other one. And it is what it is, so let's get after it. Alright, that went pretty easy. Mine hooked. Yeah. Park. Handbrake. This bad boy's got the carbon fiber. Holy cow. Might be swapping some of the silver out in that one up there for some carbon fiber. Just kidding. Actually, you never know, cause look, she's got the carbon fiber edition down in here too. Hot damn fancy. Yeah, I got it in there. Had to crack one. Make sure it's a little straight, enough room to get that other trailer out. It looks like I pushed it back too far because my blocks or the jack a little far off. So, oh, one more time. 3, 2, 1, stop. Let's see if I got it that time. Man, oh man, is it hot. That's the life of having a trailer, ain't it? Miss. You may be asking yourself, hey Bake, why didn't you just move the blocks to match the trailer? Well, I didn't want to, okay? I'm pretty close that time though. Uh-oh. Before we pick that thing up and take all the weight off of it, take his hair block, shove it under a tire, give her a wee kick. Drop the roll and drop the lock now. Yo. And clearance. Now it's done. Let's go down to the house and take a little bit of break because I am hot and I need some water. All right, before we go much farther, truck yesterday had a low reservoir for the brakes. My pedal's been a little bit spongy for a while. So before we break into these two cars, because it's also too damn hot, figure make sure this thing has some fluid still in the reservoir, make sure it ain't leak back out. And if it does have fluid in the reservoir, we'll go ahead and jack it up on all 4 corners, starting at that back corner, working our way this way across the passenger side front and then driver side front, and bleed all these brakes, see if I can't get my pedal back. Because going through the mountains, car trailer with a spongy brake pedal is kind of sketch. I don't know about you, but I'd like to alleviate that problem. All right, time to check the fluid in this POS. First, pop the hood. Second, remove this cap. Third, realize you can't see in the reservoir. Next, grab you a bucket. Oh. Climb said bucket, stick your head in. Hot damn. She's above full, so that means we're good to go for Project Bleed. Go ahead and grab a creeper in here. After I maneuver around all the seats, everything is in the way. So crawl up under there and see if we can't get to the bleeders without putting this here truck in the air and taking the wheel off. Because that would save quite a bit of effort. Y'all. Hot diggity damn. Bleeder looks to be in a halfway decent condition, so let's go grab a wrench, get my bleeder bottle, and I'll be right back. Hey Scott, go over, give her some pumps. Let's move on along over to the front and see if the front has any air in it. Yeah, I felt it bubble. That's good. All right, so both front calipers had some air in the lines. So got all four bled. Hopefully that made the pedal feel better when we're driving down the road. So when we finish putting on the tools, and we'll go take her on a test drive, see if it fixed it. Got to make sure to put your lid back on. Shut the old hood. Let's go for a test drive. That was a little bit better. Just right out of the gate. Still kind of smooshy. Oh yeah, feels better. Still ain't perfect, so I'm wondering if something else ain't going awry on this thing, you know? Whether it be the old hydro boost acting up. Then again, I didn't check the power steering fluid or nothing, make sure that the hydro boost had enough fluid in it. So maybe it's got air in that system, or not, the hydro boost ain't working all the way. I mean, it's got power brakes, so it don't feel like it's hard to, I don't know. I don't need to go too far for this little test drive, so. I feel more confident in how well the brakes are stopping me right now. So, we'll call that DUN done. All right, so we got the crash car, well, the not crash car. From initial glance, this was a 4-cylinder and that's a 6-cylinder. The difference I've seen so far is this radiator, the hose is on the wrong side up top and on the bottom, see? This side up top, driver's side, passenger side bottom. We walk over here, passenger side top, driver's side bottom. So that tells me we at least need to buy a radiator. Let's see. Looks like the fans are already off this thing, so I don't know where the fans are. Hopefully at least the electric fans are the same, so we don't have to buy a set of electric fans, because I believe those are busted. Next up on the agenda, AC condenser. This one doesn't have it, so I don't know where it is. It looks like the line set comes out on this side for that, and it's still this side for that, so hopefully the AC condenser is the same. Well, I'll look it up online later and make sure it's the same, but this car here, it looks like it's bent from here out. It's pretty straight here, but it's bent down in here. On this side, it's a little more bent on this side, and we kind of got into the bumper support right here. So hopefully we can straighten her out right there and not have to cut the whole frame horn off. She is minty all the way across, matching silver and everything. We gotta disassemble it, polish some headlights, make them look a little bit pretty. If you look at it from this side, the bumper looks good. So when we take pictures, we'll just take them all from one side instead of the other, because This side's been hitting a parking garage once or twice, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so all in all, it looks like it's going to be a fairly straightforward swap. There's a couple things I need to look up online here in a little bit. That's about all the time we have for today. I got to go down to my daughter's birthday party here just shortly, and we'll be back on this thing first thing in the morning. All right, guys, so it's done a good bit of raining this morning. I come down, made a little bit of a game plan on what tools I was going to need to bring down to get the front end off this car. I went home to get lunch and grabbed my tools, and it started pouring the rain, so it's kind of cut my day short. So we don't have a whole lot of time. It's supposed to rain again here in a couple hours, so let's try to get as far as we can today and see how it goes. For starters, I see that this gap here is a little bit wide, so I'm not sure if this top rail's kind of pushed out just a hair. I mean, you can see that it's about a finger width of gap there. And if you come over to this side, it looks pretty straight. So I don't know if that means the fender's a little bit bent or that means the rail's pushed out a little bit, but once we get the fenders off and everything, we should be able to see if we can push that back in a little bit. I don't want to push on that fender because that fender's not bent or anything. So if I push on it or try to push with that fender, I might put a spot in, then I have to try to PDR or whatever, and I ain't about that. If you look here, this bracket is messed up, so it's got to go. This frame rail here is kinked kind of in this corner here, so instead of trying to bend it back, I think I can just drill the spot welds out, pull this off all the way through here. The lower radiator support kind of looks straight, so I might not have to do that. Depends on if it's easier to cut it here and just replace the top of these, because this one was also pretty well messed up. So I might be able to cut it off here and just replace all this from the other car. The frame rail here looks pretty straight, so I'll be able to get to those bolts, and I don't think any modifications here have to be done. But if we come over here, this is a little bit cattywampus, so I'm not sure exactly how we're going to take care of it, but I might be able to cut a little bit of this off, straighten it out, cut the other car off, and put the other one on. We'll have to figure that out as we go. These bolts are going to be hard to get to, so I might have to cut a window in here to get to this bolt and cut a little bit of that to get to that bolt. This is broke, has to come off. Hopefully the one on the other car is pretty good. Fender's got to come off. Without further ado, I guess I'm going to break out some tools and we're going to get to work. Alright, so while I was cutting windows in that, trying to get to the both of them bolts, he took off the 3 hoses off the bottom of that radiator and it come right up out of there. So now we need to move on and try to keep taking this thing apart. Alright, so we got most of the front end off this car that needed to come off preemptively. So now we got her turned around. There's a telephone pole right there. He went to go get a come along, and we're gonna do a redneck frame pull. We probably replace part of this frame horn when we do it, but this thing's buckled a little bit right here, kind of twisted around that way as well. This is supposed to be flat this way, so it's kind of just an up compared to this side. You can see it's flat across. It's not quite flat here, has a little bit of a taper, but not near. This flange nice and straight, this flange nice and straight. So if we can't get too much done. At least we need to try to get the top straightened out, the side over here straightened out, so we can cut this off the new one, the new other car, and put it back on this one. So telephone pole, chain, come along. We'll see what happens. More or less, we straighten this out enough to where we can get to these spot welds, get to the spot welds on the side and everything, get this end cap completely off there, so we can go about trying to straighten this frame horn as best as we can, and maybe cutting and replacing part of it. So we're gonna get this car turned back around, try to get some of these spot welds drilled out of that, and pull that cap off, and see what happens after that. Noser in the garage here for a little bit and try to take care of some of this in here so it's not blistering sun. Now get this frame horn off, see what happens. All right, so more or less took a drill bit through these, spot weld bit through the ones that we could, drill bit all the spot welds out the whole thing, and now we just got to try to start popping these out and peeling it back. One, two's almost popped. We'll just keep doing that until they're all out. I think I might have forgot one right there. So I'll go ahead and drill that one out and we'll keep on going. There it goes. Ka-ching! That was the money shot! Hell yeah, brother. We finally got that off there. So now we can try to take some pliers and hammers and try to straighten this stuff out, and hopefully we can get it. If not, we'll have to cut it all the way off and replace it all. But hopefully, for not as bad as that is, we can get her straightened back out. Alrighty then. So we have now straightened this frame horn out. Got it a lot straighter than what it was. It ain't perfect, but it ain't got to be perfect. All it does is hold that bar up front, so I think it'll do for what we're doing. Got to take the spot welds out starting from here, take this front panel off, this upright support down through here, and then this one all the way across to the fender on both sides. Got to get all the spot welds out and pull all this off. I'm gonna get up under the car, try to remove the side skirts, get the bottom fender bolts out, pull both the fenders so we can get the spot welds off the top up here, and then it'll be ready to start tearing apart the other car. One fender off, let's go ahead and do the other side. All right, so we did quite a bit of work since the last time I picked up the camera, and got this side all the way off through there, all the way off up and around. I done put the fender back on. I had to drill the spot welds out here and get this part off here. We drill all the spot welds out of here. We had to bend this one out of the way to get it up out of the way, out of there. Spot welds down through here. So now we got to move on to this side and get all this out, But I also had to take out the air box and whatnot. I had to unplug, I think it's mass airflow, and I don't know what's still purge solenoid evap or something here. And then had to unbolt the fuse box and move it out of the way, because there's one here you can't get to, especially even if we would have tried to get that out of there half-assed when we go to put it back together. We need to spot weld that back together. We're not going to be able to get the welder in there. So, bolt that out of the way. All in all, it's been a fairly simple process. It ain't been the easiest process, but it's been simple. Just basically trying to drill out spot welds and prime and drill and prime and drill and prime, and it's slowly coming apart. Hopefully the other car goes a lot easier than this one has. This air box busted. Something had to come up and hit it into the crash, so we're gonna have to hit up a junkyard or try to find another one of those on the internet somewhere, because that's busted. It's a V6, that's 4-cylinder, they're not the same. So now there's a dog in here, so anyways, I'm gonna get back after it and I'll catch you up in a little bit. So the rain held off a lot longer than I thought it was going to, because it still ain't rained yet and it's getting kind of dark out. It's past dinner time. But if you look down here, we got them all the way apart. The bracket's gone from here all the way down. The bracket's gone from there all the way down. There's a couple places we need to clean up some where I've drilled out the spot welds. A couple places over here need cleaned up where we drill out the spot welds. We can try to whack this bad boy a little more straighter than what it is, but that's about all we're gonna get done this evening. We're gonna clean this up a little bit, move this bad boy back out the garage and get it out of the way, and tomorrow, or hopefully tomorrow, we'll pull the other car around and get started stripping it. So till the next time, I'll freaking see you guys later.